Boys, we're getting into part 2 of the OP09 review, where we go through the next set that's coming out December 13th for the One Piece TCG. I'm really excited to get into some green here today with the new leader, Lim. Very interesting, to say the least, so let's get into that in just a second. I just want to say, if you're coming to card shows anytime in North Carolina, you need to be at the Burlington Card Show December 7th and 8th, 300 table event where we have sports cards, Pokemon, One Piece, every TCG, pops, anime, like comic books, everything you want to see and more at the Burlington Card Show.com for more info. That's me. I am Mr. Pow, and I'm ready to get into this video. If you from the first one, I've already actually done this whole video on silent mode. So we're going part 2 for me, part 1 for you guys. I'm super excited to bring you guys some more action. If you like these videos, let me know, like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Here we have Lim, or Life Leader, green and purple, just like the Doflamingo, 5k power, usual stuff for a 4k 5 drop, or 5k power leader. Your character played rested. That's weird. That's weird. The thing with this is, like, I understand green's not supposed to have rush, but, like, I can't use a straw hat archetype with a 7-drop
OP09. All of
my old video just got done edit. I was waiting for it to filter over, and now I hear that. Okay, so like I said, the green stuff, you can't play any rush units. You can't play like a 7-drop Sanji or a 9-drop, you know, like that. They're all rested, and there's not a way to activate them, which is see through this. That kind of throws me off a little bit. There's a few cards that are a little janky, a little weird, and I don't understand what they're doing with the Odyssey type. I think it can be cool, especially because the leader right here, I'm about to go over, is very, very strong. Once per turn, you may mess 3 Dawn cards, add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested, and play up to 1 Odyssey-type character where they cost 5 or less from your hand. So you're getting to spam out bodies for 3 Dawn and ramp Dawn every turn from that effect. That's insane. So on a 3 Dawn turn, we ramp 1 and play out a 5-drop. On a 6 Dawn turn, we play a 3-drop and ramp 1 to get another 5-drop. So now we have 3 bodies on the board, not counting whatever we did for our 1 Dawn turn. So we have 4 bodies on the board worth about, what, 5, 3, 13 Dawn. We haven't had 13 Dawn this whole game if you add everything together. I mean, 6 plus 1, it's only 10, you know? We've only 10 Dawn, we've gotten 15 out. This is strong, but the fact that they come out rested kind of kills it, you know? We'll see effects around that, but the leader itself, I don't know. If I had to rank it, like, I would give this in a solid out of 10, you know? Like, it's not, like, good. It just has to have the right cards, you know, and broken. Now we get to the alt art. How are you guys feeling about this one? I don't like it. Personally, I'm going to be the one to say it. I don't like it. I don't think this is good, you know? There's not enough going on. Like, not saying anything bad, but they have so much green in her eyes and everything, and then you don't have much purple going on. You could see this maybe being purple back here. They have the green bubbles even. There's so much green going on. I would love to see some purple, you know, kind of happening, and not just such a basic background. I get the point because it's like the OP01 style, but it's just not for me, man. This leader, it's an alt. Like, if I put it, I'm going to throw it in my binder and feel good about it, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, this is the one I've been wanting. Like, it's okay. But, hey, let me know what you think down below. We go straight into boss monsters here, I guess. Holy cow. This is the 9-drop boss monster. I'm going to explain to you the line of play that goes wrong with this card. So, like I said earlier, you go to 6, and then you played something out, so you're at 7. So the next turn you go to 9, and that's when you play your boss monster, right? That's going on a first on curve. So I'm going to explain to you a line once we see a few cards that would work very well, but would need to be exactly what it is, if that makes any sense. So I think this is good. On play, if your leader has the Odyssey type, set up to 3 of your Dawn as active, so you get to play another body out when you hit that 9 Dawn turn. And we've already played, you know, we've already played, what, 15? No, we already said we played 15 Dawn characters already, so that's already really, or 13 Dawn worth of characters, that's already really strong. So on your opponent's attack, this is the other effect. On your opponent's attack, once per turn, you may rest 1 of your Dawn cards up to 1 of your leaders or character cards gain plus 2,000 power during this battle. And I'm going to explain to you what I explained earlier, but you didn't get to hear it. Okay? Think about this. It's like the, what's her name? Baccarat or whatever, the red that you just ditch a card from your hand and it's a 2k counter guaranteed. That card's strong. That's a good card, but it's not highly played. It's just a little chump blocker and everything. You want to make this card overpowered. You want to make this card actually good, because that 1 rested Dawn kind of sucks. I want to rest a Dawn to get 2,000 power. I just run a counter event or something. I guess you lose hand advantage, but I just don't see this really coming up. Now, if you change this card to purple, which I understand why it's not purple, because you set 3 Dawn as active, but if you were to make this Odyssey type really pop, to really be something good, you make this green purple, and it's Odyssey locked already with the first effect, right? You make this the first ever dual color character, which we haven't seen yet, which could be a possibility in the future. And honestly, I'm not against it. Dual color characters that are a little locked to, leader locked and stuff. Make this green purple. The second effect, you may rest one card or you may return one Dawn from your Dawn deck. This card would be amazing. If I did not have to keep a Dawn active, but I just got to return one, I do think this deck list, this whole meta, everything that Lim does, I think it would be really good. I think this card's super cool. I think I don't know the game. I no counter. I get it. Sure. Don't get the game. But no, this card's great. This card's great if you're playing this leader. Any other card, other leader, you play this in any other deck, it's not worth it. The alt art, are you not going to tell me this alt art's a little suspect? This weird, like if I know the game. So if I look at this and I'm like, he has random green slimy goop going on. It looks like he's laying on the floor. I know that's probably like him standing up and it's just a weird angle and everything. It looks like he's laying on the floor and something's just falling on top of him. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like this. This makes me, not it. But this is it. Usopp right here. This is everybody's favorite character. Nobody will disagree with that statement. This guy's amazing. The character cost, this card, not good though. 4-drop 5k, 1k counter, always good. Ranged attacker, Odyssey Straw Hat. Straw Hat, always a great type to have, super searchable. On play, if you have 2 or more rested characters, draw 2 cards, trash 2 cards from your hand. So you're telling me I have to tap 4 Dawn to have, if you have 2 or more rested characters, so I have to meet your conditions, and then I get the worst part of the Sabo effect. Like, I get to draw 2, trash 2, not all of my characters can't be KO'd. Like, this card, when you put it into that perspective, this card is not good. Like, drawing 2 and trashing 2 is amazing, but that's good in a black deck when you really get to use your grave, or your something. In this deck, you don't. So I don't really care for this card. It's not that good. And then you have to also meet the conditions, so this can't even be an early play. None of your cards really can, but that's just a different conversation. Now, Crocodile, I take that back. Crocodile is your early play. 4-drop 5k, 1k counter, Odyssey 7 Warlords broke. 3 types. If your leader has the Odyssey type, this character cannot be KO'd in battle by leaders. This has the Uta effect, the black Uta that everyone changed out for Any's Lobby, basically. That's exactly what this has, and that's really, really good. If you're early game on your 3-Dawn turn, they only have 1 swing. They haven't gotten any strong bodies. 2-drop brand new. And then you play this out, and they're like, oh, it's rested, but I can't swing it. So on a 3-Dawn turn, this is your first turn play every time. So if you do want to play this leader, this is your 4 of for sure, and you want to play this on your first turn. You want to see this in your mulligan hand or whatever hand you start with. You want to see this Crocodile. This is the one card that I think kind of helps with the leader effect. Because this one does not have the 2-cost mandatory effect where it has anything happen if you have to have 2 characters to have something happen. I think this card's really good, honestly. 6-drop Sakazuki, I have some things to say about this card. This card could be so good. On play, if you have 2 or more rested characters, KO up to one of your opponent's characters for the cost of 5 or less. This card could be so good. I'm telling you. But they made it not usable for Lim effect because it's a 6-drop. And they made this not usable for Sakazuki effect because it's a 6-drop. You make this card a 5 cost, this card's amazing. Because you also have to think, Isho's final effect is tap 1 Dawn, set one of your 5 cost as active. How good would that be with this card? That would be amazing. And you make it a 5-drop 6k, just like all the other cards. But they wanted to take that away and not give us a good time. So I'm kind of upset with this card. It's still a really good effect, actually. But having to tap 6 Dawn for it, I guess it replaces the play line that I'm going to explain later once we get to the SR. But, I mean, if you have those, you can play this, and it's good. And it just KOs. It doesn't have to be rested. Also very good. I'm telling you, this card's good. It's just not having that effect. Not being able to use your Lim effect. Not being able to use, anything like that. I mean, Isho effect. This would be so good in Isho, and it's just not. And that sucks. Hurts my feelings. 5-drop Sabo. 5-6. Playable with Lim. That's pretty cool. When attacking, once per turn, if you have 3 or more rested characters, draw 1 card. This card sucks. This card, you don't want to play it. You have to, kind of, because of ability, but they made it an uncommon, and I don't understand why. The Usopp is better than this. Because if I'm playing any intelligent deck, I have to meet those parameters of having 3 or more rested characters, which, first off, this card does count, so whenever you swing, it does count as one of them, so you need to have 2 other rested characters. But if I'm playing Bonnie, now I have to rest this card first before you get the other 3, so it's no effect. It's the same thing with, Sangoro. I have to swing the Sangoro first or I never draw a card. So if I choose to swing with an 8k, you can walk out and then rest this guy and I don't draw, with that line. But with this, it's just mid. It's so easy to play around and then I can just kill it easily. The win it fails because, it's rested, so it's just a primary target to attack. it saves your life, but it doesn't really save your board, you know? And your board's kind of important because you need to have rested characters. And if all your characters die, it's just over. So I don't this really gets what it needs, and I just don't think this is a good card. Sanji now. Common. On KO, you may add one card from the top of or bottom of your life cards to your hand. Play up to one Odyssey or Straw Hat type character with a cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. I like this card a lot. This is a very good card. For a common, too, that's really good. This card's going to be dirt cheap, too. So it helps if you're getting starved out, which Sanji does very well. It's the same thing with the red Sanji, because you know that red, you know, you can usually just get starved out. If you want to beat a red deck, just don't swing their life. It's that simple. And so with this, you know, you can't really starve out my life because I can just take my own life. You just kill this guy. So now you have to choose not to kill this guy, and you're taking 6k and leader swing every single turn. So I think this card's really good. The character obviously does come out rested, but we would have already known that. I think you can play this, you know, in any deck that's green. We could play this, you know, it doesn't say green 4 or less, so we could technically use this as a target in Trafalgar Law. You know, in red-green Law, I think this could be actually a playable card possibly. Like, it'd be a little janky and a little different type if we went towards the Odyssey direction, but it might be fun. You know, there's some good cards we can play in the Odyssey, so I really like that card. On KO, it helps with, you know, all the issues with black too, so I'll take it. Tony Chopper. I think this card wasn't made for Odyssey, but I'll explain in a second. End of your turn, set up to one of your Odyssey-type characters that cost 4 or less as active. I mean, we only have, like, 4 cards that are like that, and this is going to be your primary target. 3-drop, 4k, and it's the animal type. This is made for red-green Chopper. I think genuinely, because if you play out your 3-drop Chopper that plays out at 4,000 power or less from the top 5, you play this out, it makes itself active, your opponent can't starve you out no more. I think that's good, you know? And you give it a rested Dawn with leader ability once you, you know, play your turn out. This card's just good. Like, genuinely, in that deck, it's good. In Odyssey, not so much. I mean, it keeps your characters active. It's good for that reason, but for the most part, it's just okay. This card just sucks. I love Law. Rosinante's cool, I guess, but I love Law. Like, if you don't know, he's one of my favorite characters. The art on this is insane. It's beautiful. Supernova's top 5 types. Like, genuinely, that's probably my second favorite type, or maybe first or second, with Revolutionary Army. On play, you may return one of your characters to the owner's hand. So just any character. Play up to one Odyssey-type character with a cost of 3 or less from your hand other than Law. And so I'm just going to show you right now. Okay, let's look for 3 or less. Let's look for 3 or less. So we have, you know, this one. He can't play himself out. We have this one. So that's 2 targets right now. That's 3 targets right now, because this is not part of it. This is not part of it. That's Throw the Bark. And you'll see that in a second. If it'll load in. This is the alt art for the one. So we have 3 targets. Yeah, 3 targets. It's not good. Like, at least from this set. I don't know if there's other ones from other sets, but I don't know why I would want to play a 3 cost to return a 3 cost, or to return a character to then play a 3 cost. So if I return a 5 cost, I'm losing 2 Dawn on the field, and then I'm playing out a 3 cost by playing a 3 cost. So I have to return one of my good bodies, probably, that even if I swing with it, there's no point because it comes out rested. So, like, I don't know. I just don't get this one. This one's weird. I don't know why anybody would ever play this. Horrible card. This is a good card if you're playing Lim. Actually, this could just be good in green in general. Like, green, purple, Doflamingo, this card is set. And we're talking about the Doflamingo brothers so much. Doflamingo and Rosinante. Not Doflamingo brothers, Don Quixote brothers. But, yeah, this card's actually good. Blocker, and then end of your turn, if you have 2 or more rested characters, set this card as active. And again, it does count itself. So, you only need one other rested character. This is your... So you play Croc, right? And then you play this out. And then you play the next card I'm going to show you. That is the 3-drop. Well, not right now, but in a minute, I'll show you the 3-drop. Then you go to that 9 turn, and it'll all explain itself. And it's perfect, because then you're guaranteed to go to 9, and then you play your boss monster already. Very, very good. Playline's great. That's a good card. Now, here's your Rosinante blocker. That's targetable with your Law, but it's just a blocker. And then on your opponent's turn, once per turn, set this character as active. Or on your opponent's attack, set this character as active. So if they don't swing this, I just block with it anyway. But the thing is, they may just swing it. You know, and then you counter out of that, and then you get a blocker, I guess. But then you're countering out of 4K. It doesn't make as much sense. I don't know. It's all right. It's like, if your opponent only has 1 swing, though, it just sets itself as active, and then you go to your turn. Doesn't really do much. Maybe the timing works where when your opponent attacks, I can set this as active and then block out with it, which also makes sense. But still, it's like, once per turn, and it's on your opponent's attack. It's just okay. Like, I definitely think this card is a play in the Lim deck. Like, I think this is a card you play in the line. You know, having a 3-drop is important for this deck, but, you know, let's just give you the example of 3-drop into Croc, 3-drop into the other card, and then 3-drop into this, and then you get to make it active when they swing one of your bodies. That's good, and it's a good blocker. Now, this card is Do you see what I see? Boys, Nico Robin. Nico friggin' Robin. This girl, top tier, amazing card. Art itself. Artist, who are you? I like you. It don't matter who you are. I like you. On play, if you have 2 or more rested characters, none. It doesn't just say 0. It says none of your Odyssey or Straw Hat Crew types can be KO'd by effects until the end of your opponent's turn. This is a Sabo effect. You definitely want to play this. I might take this into other green decks, honestly. Like, this is a good card. If your deck is built around the Straw Hat Crew, like a Red-Green Law would be, this card's good. Because also I can bounce it and reuse it. And so I don't think people have thought about that. Red-Green Law can take advantage of this card because I can bounce this, play a 6-drop Luffy, put 2 Dawn on it. Yes, that card can be KO'd, but none of my other cards can. So if I really lean into the Straw Hat engine and we cook something up with that, especially with the 1-drop Zoros, or 1 or 2-drop Zoros.
Standpoint, let me know what you're cooking up in OP09.
I didn't even know my video was going off in the background. My bad, guys. Okay, so anyways, this card in Red-Green Law, amazing. I really think that would be fun. In Odyssey, it's definitely played. I think you played this before as well. This is just a good card. And it's a common. Again, dirt cheap. Perona, we're getting into some Thriller Bark and Muggy Kingdom support. Mainly just Mihawk. So look at the top 5 cards, reveal up to 1 Mihawk or Thriller Bark Pirates type. Add it to your hand, then place the rest on the bottom of your in any order and trash 1 card from your hand. It's a 2K counter as well. So that's why you have to trash the card, I'm assuming. Because it's mainly just filter. This card's just good. Like, the reason they couldn't give you, not trashing a card is because this card would have the recursion effects over and over and over again with your 1-drop, your 1 or 2-drop stage. Every single turn, you just tap 1 to play out a searcher. That's insane. So the filter in this deck's going to be crazy, especially if you're playing that. But this is going to go into the Perona deck mainly. I mean, only, because I don't think you're going to play this in a Black Echo Moria. You could try, but I don't think your locals are going to take that very well, or your your regionals. I don't think they'll allow it. But I do think this card's definitely going to be played in Perona, especially once you see the other cards that we're getting. It also does not say that you can't grab Perona, which is really nice. It says Thriller Bark Pirates or Mihawk, so you can also get the 3-drop Mihawk, which is 2K counter and plays a slash out. This is just good. This is a good card right there. Alt art. I mean, it's demure, it's cutesy, it's fancy, it's pretty, but also, like, it's got that Gurren Lagann kind of look to it, or, like, dandy, space dandy kind of vibe. Like, I love the art style. You can just insert anime and it's got that style. Like, this is good. Like, the cute anime, or, like, I don't know. But anyways, it looks good. Like, this is actually, I really like this alt art, and it's not just because it's a pretty girl with pink hair. Okay, this is just genuinely a good alt art. Like, it's not going to be super expensive. It's going to be like $15-20, and that's also good because it's a rare. So we'll take that. Here we got Portgas de Ace. 1,000 counter. Obviously, you need 2K counters for your Odyssey type. See him Whitebeard. So many different combos in this, and I kind of like that. On play, if you have 2 or more rested characters, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Literally, it's Usohachi. So we saw in the last one that there was, with the heat or whatever, it's a 2K counter that also could get rush. This in this is like the Usohachi from Purple Luffy. So they're copying those cards into other leaders. So I think this card's really good because you only have to tap 3 Dawn to rest a 5 cost or less, which is the blocker, which is exactly what Usohachi does. You tap 3 Dawn, it's a 2K counter because it costs 3 to play it. But it's 4K power, but it doesn't come out rested and doesn't have the criteria of having 2 or more rested characters. So that's kind of the tough spot, is that it has less ability than Usohachi because I can't play this right away. I have to have the 2 rested characters. We'll have to have 1 rested character, and if your opponent's smart, they'll take care of that first. So it's interesting. It is what it is. We'll just kind of see what happens with it. Then we get to Luffy. Luffy does the exact same thing, but it rests a 6 cost lower or one of your opponent's Dawn. So I guess into the matchup with Bonnie, you can rest the Dawn. I'm sure there's going to be other matchups in the future, or you're going in against Purple Luffy. They may have the 1 cost event for 3 Dawn. You can just stop the 1 cost event. I think that's really good. They can't use it. They can't filter their hand. That's what they were hoping for. This card kind of cooks that. So I like that. I think that's a good card. It's just taking those decks. Like, it's hard to actually attack any of those decks because we don't, our other cards are rested. So that's the only issue I have. So I think it needs more draw power in the deck, and it could be a little better. But I don't know. Who's to say? We'll find out, I guess. Lim herself. This is the 3-drop that I was talking about. So on play, look at the top 5 cards, reveal 1 Odyssey-type card character other than Lim, add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck, and then end of your turn, if you have 3 or more rested characters, set this character as active. So this is your lines, right? 1-drop, you just play a 1-drop if you have a searcher. If not, you just don't play anything. So on your 3-drop turn, you play the Crocodile, can't be killed, right? Now you're on 6 because you ramp 1 with Leader effect because you used your 3 Dawn. So now on 6, you tap 3, okay, for Leader effect, and play out Doflamingo. Doflamingo will stand himself active because you have 2 rested characters. Then you tap 3 for Lim. Lim will search out your 9-drop, which is what you're looking for, Apache or whatever. She can search that out if it's in the top 5 or if you already have it in hand. And then you're going to 7 because you just ramped with your leader ability on the last play, which is Doflamingo. And then you get to play that card out next turn. So then Doflamingo stands himself as active. Or no, this stands herself as active first. You choose the order. So you have 3 rested right now, including her and the Doflamingo, and you swung with the crocodile, right? You stand Lim as active. Doflamingo checks if there's 2. Doflamingo sees there's 2. You stand that as active. So now you have a blocker that's 6k, a body on the board, and then Crocodile, who can't be killed by a leader swing. So I think that's the play line. And then on your 9 Dawn turn, now you have 3 characters on board. 9 Dawn, you play out the 9-drop, and then you get leader ability again to ramp into 10. Not that 10 really matters, but then you have 3 Dawn to play another character out. So you have a full 5 board. Which is 9, 12, 5, 5, 3. So 12, 22, 25 Dawn worth of plays by your 4th turn. And so I can see that one line being very, very strong, but it's not consistent enough yet. And so, because you need those specific cards and only those specific cards. It's like you can do other cards, but it's just not worth it, So, I don't know. Just to give you the play line, I think that's definitely the best one. And this is probably one of the best alt arts in the set. Like, genuinely, I hated her leader, but this card with all the green, like, it just pops. This is exactly what this needed. Just having the green, I've never seen a green, alt art look this good, because they really exemplify the green, like the background and everything going on. Again, I don't understand the actual, like, video game itself, but I can sit here and tell you this looks cool. This genuinely has, like, it pops, and, like, normally you don't have a character that pops like that unless it's, weird Hody Jones, voice crack, weird Hody Jones faces or something, how they look kind of creepy, or Buggy Leader that we'll talk about later, he looks a little weird. But yeah, I like that one. Rob Lucci, you're not going to play this. 4-drop 6k, I mean, you might, just for the Odyssey type, and the other cards kind of suck, so you'd rather just have a vanilla, but, if I'm going to tap 3 Dawn, I'd rather get a 5-drop 6k with an effect, at least to possibly drop the effect. Maybe good, so, I don't know. Now we're getting to some of the worst parts of this whole thing. Like, genuinely, these events suck. Gum Gum Quattro Jet Cross Shock Bazooka. Say that 10 times fast. Counter if your leader has the Odyssey type and you have 2 or more rested characters. Up to one of your leaders or character gains plus 2,000 during this turn. That's honestly really not bad. It's not good. I'd rather have like something that gave me 4k or something, but I mean, if I play a 9 Dawn turn, I play my Apache and get 3 active and there's nothing else I can do, I can put 2 on my characters and then, have 1 for this, I guess. It's good because it goes on for the whole turn, in case you're wondering. Like, the only reason this has any validation is that it says during this turn, and it does not say, just during this battle, which some of the other cards will say. And the trigger, KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters if they cost 4 or less. Honestly, it's not a bad trigger. If they swing in with a 4-drop Kuzan, you just kill it right away, and you get that. That's actually not bad. So this is not like the worst card. I wouldn't mind trying it out and testing it. So something you want to see, let me know. Thunder Lance, Flip, Caliber, Phoenix Shot. Like, literally, Thunder Lance, Nami, Caliber, Phoenix. That sounds like Zoro. So I'm kind of confused where Flip and Shot come from. But hey, I don't get it. I don't get the game. So maybe it's just me. Maybe those are Frankie or something. I don't know. Main, if you have 2 or more rested characters, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. That sucks. This genuinely just sucks. I have to meet a criteria. This is what I said in the first video. I said this should kill an 8-drop. Because you want me to tap 3 of my Dawn, which gets rid of my leader ability, or stops me from playing a whole 5-drop 6k character. And you want me to have 2 or more rested characters at the time of this activating, so any black deck just cooks this card. And then you want me to KO a 4-cost or lower. Like, that just sucks. You see everything that has to go into it. This card's just not good. It's not good. Even with the trigger, rest up to one of your opponent's cost 4 or less. It can win you a game off the trigger if, you rest the Rebecca, but that's about it. Soul, Frankie, Swing, Arm, Boxing, Solid. I wonder what they're going to call this in English. I really do. I hope that's what they call it. But you got Brooke, you got Nami, you got Frankie. They got a little weird blue line going in between the 2 of them, but they're supposed to be fighting this guy. And the lightning's coming from this guy, but I thought that would maybe be Nami because she controls. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I really don't. Counter, up to one of your leaders or character gains plus 2,000 during this battle. So this is battle. It's not going to be for your whole turn. Then if your leader has the Odyssey type, and you have 2 or more rested characters, set up to 2 of your rested characters as active. Honestly, solid effect, but I think to make this deck good, the characters need to activate themselves, Because genuinely, I think that's just the only thing that this deck's lacking. Is like just more cards that activate themselves or set themselves as active. Obviously that just gets rid of the leader's effect in general, but it stops you from playing cards that don't have that, which is what limits this. It limits your pool of cards. I can't play any rush. I can't do anything like that because they don't set themselves as active. So if I have rush on a character, if I play a 7-drop Sanji and then I do Dawn -1, I play it out and do all that stuff, and then it gets rushed, and then I'm just like, well, it's already rested. It's already over. So, and then we get into 8-drop Rosinante, OP04. I definitely think this card needed an SP or just something, some kind of reprint. I'm happy we got this for the secret rare. This card's cool. I actually really think this one's going to be one of the best secrets, not like value-wise, but looks-wise. I think the texture on this is good. I love these kind of SPs. I think these are good. If this character is rested, your active characters, or they cost 5 or of 5, cannot be KO'd by effects. You may rest this character. On play, you may rest this character, play up to 1 green card with a cost 5 from your hand. And so you were thinking, maybe this is playable in Lim. It's not. If this character is rested, yes, that's very good. You may rest this character. On play, you may rest this character. Your card is on play. When it's played, is already rested. So you don't get that effect, as far as I know. And so it's really not playable. Now we're back to Lim. Let me know down below what you think of Lim. I think it's very interesting. I think it can cook up something maybe one day, eventually, possibly. But at the moment, it's not so awesome sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not a chill guy, So, not my cup of tea. I'll definitely test it out for you guys, though. So if you want to see that, let me know. Like and subscribe, give a comment, and let me know what you're most ready for. And let me know your favorite tech card. That's literally all I want to know. Just let me know. Comment down below. What's your favorite tech card? If you got this far, at this point, you just have to tell me. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out for this long. That's all the green cards for this list. We'll be going into another color very soon. So see that one tomorrow. 6-part series. December 13th. You can get all these cards at your local card shop. Bye-bye.